Time. Every year, at the end of the season, there's an exit meeting with your coach, with your GM, whatever. They usually, tell you, hey, great year, whatever the case may be. We'll be in touch, whatever the case may be, whatever. I wonder how many players take the initiative to say, hey, coach, hypothetical, hey, Coach Reddick, where do you see me in our scheme of things for next year so I can work on it throughout the summer?
Right.
Skill development, of course. I'm going to, work on my skill development. But where do you see me fitting in with how you and the coaching staff are going to play? Because it's so funny you just said that. A lot of guys, you see it all through the summer, guys are posting videos and clips of them working out and, doing, 5 or 6, combo moves and pull-ups and things of that nature and, backing down and and you get into the season and you realize this is not going to be the style of play that coaching staff had envisioned. It's not no knock on you. It's how they envision on how the team is going to play. So now I feel like a lot of guys waste a lot of time in the off season by not getting an understanding from their coach, from their coaching staff on how are we going to play in the fall. So not only during my I do skill development twice a week. And then I do, what are we going to run in the summer? So now I can break that down to, we're going to run a lot of drags. 77, I'll be the second roller, or, a lot of follows. I could get into that pitch it to my summer, my summer developer, and hip tap and roll and play the 4-on-3 game.
It's a great point.
I mean, I don't think many trainers are going to tell their guys to work on hip tap and roll and get behind the defense anyways, because that takes them out of working too. So, but you just triggered me right there. I've done skill training my whole career, of course, obviously, but I've also done things that I felt like were what we were going to run. How were we going to play? And you develop that because you're wasting too much time if you're just doing all skill development. That you're not going to be able to use that skill. The coaches may not even. They're like, we're not using it in that fashion.
Yeah.
So how can you take that? I think that's the next step for a lot of players as well too. That's trying to, get better the next year too.
I think that's a really smart comment for a lot of players out there in the league, in college, and high school. Player development has to be in concert with the style of play your team has and your role on that team. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that 10% of it isn't where I want to be in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. But how am I going to play? Because else you don't get on the floor, you're not as efficient, you play less minutes. I get calls.